You know what's messed up? I spent 3 months preparing to start creating content. Perfect lighting, perfect setup, perfect plan. But the day I finally hit record, I looked in the mirror and thought, not today. And that's when I realized something that will blow your mind. The thing that's stopping you from starting isn't what you think is. Here's what everyone gets wrong about confidence. They think it comes from being ready, but I discovered something twisted. The days I look like absolute garbage. Hair everywhere, beard wild, shirt I slept in. I was 10 plus more likely to avoid recording. Not because I care to impress anyone, but because when I look like someone who given up on himself, I felt like it too. Wait. So looking good equal confidence? Actually, no. Because what happened next completely shattered everything I thought about showing up. But first, you need to understand why your mirror is lying to you. Some days I look in the mirror and think, yeah, today's not the day to be on camera. Hair messy, beard out of shape, wear that one shirt that makes me feel like I'm giving up on life. So I'd fix everything. And you know what happened next? I felt more confident for exactly 3 seconds. Then I hit record and still freeze. Voice sound weird, overthink every word, cringing at myself. That's when the truth hit me like a truck. Looking ready isn't the same as feeling ready. But here's where it gets twist. What if feeling ready is actually the wrong goal? Now real quick, if you still stare in my face with this I just woke up and decide to change my life energy, do the bare minimum, will ya? Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. This stuff takes work, scripting, editing, existential cries, and a dangerous amount of bad coffee. And I see you, all thoughtful, watching quietly, ghosting the content like some kind of algorithm poltergeist. You really think the YouTube gods will bless our relationship like that? Come on. Click the button and save this connection. Because if you don't, your next Zoom calls is gonna be one of those painful, long meetings that could have been an email. You want that? I don't want that for you. Anyway, back to it. What I'm about to show you goes against everything you've been told. You want to know the real reason you're not starting? It's not fear of failure. It's not imposter syndrome. It's not even perfectionism. It's this toxic belief that confidence comes before action. But here's nobody tells you. Every time you wait to feel ready, you train your brain that you're not that kind of person who does hard things. You're literally rewiring yourself for hesitation. And that's when I realized something that changed everything. The people who see natural confidence, they are not waiting for confidence. They are building it. But how do you build something that seems to require itself? The answer is so simple. It's almost stupid, but it works. Okay, here's what I did. Instead of fighting the fear, I gave it less power. I create rituals that remove thinking. Set my tripod before bed, wear clothes that make me feel sharp, organize my recording space before filming. Not because of vanity, but because looking sharp makes me feel ready. And when I hit record, I don't expect it to be perfect. I just expect myself to finish. Because here's the new rule. Confidence is a byproduct of consistency. But wait, what happens when you do all this and nobody cares? That's where the real test begins. You do everything right. You show up, you create, you post, and then silence. No views, no comments, no one clapping. This is where 99% of people quit. Because we are taught to chase results, not roots. But those quiet days, they are where the real foundation is built. If you can't keep going when it feels like no one cares, that's when you create for the right reason. Not for attention, but for alignment. Not to impress, but to express. And that's where something magical happens. You stop needing external validation because you're building the most valuable thing of all. And speaking of validation, you know what would validate my existence right now? If you smash that like button like you're smashing your limiting beliefs. Look, I get it. You probably thinking, oh great, another YouTube begging for likes. But here's the thing, I'm not begging. I giving you an opportunity to practice commitment in a low stakes environment. You can't commit starting your content creation journey, but you can't even commit clicking a tiny button. That's concerning. But I believe in you. I believe you're the type of person who follows through. So prove it. Click on the button and subscribe to the channel. Because if you can do a simple thing for someone who's giving you life-changing advice for free, how are you gonna do the hard stuff? Anyway, back to the most valuable thing I've built. Out of everything I built in these past weeks, videos, habits, new routines, the most valuable thing wasn't a skill or a metric. It was self-trust. Because when you don't trust yourself, even your best plans fall apart. You hesitate, you overthink, you start and stop. But when you do trust in yourself, you move different. You stop waiting for motivation or external validation and start relying on your own word. Each time you showing up, you proving to yourself you're the kind of person who doesn't quit. And that changes how you show up in every area, especially the ones that matter most. But here's the twist part. Building self-trust requires doing the thing that terrifies you most. And what I discover about this process will shock you. Constance isn't about being motivated. It's about showing up even when you're not. It's brush your hair when you feel like hiding. It's record one more video when no one watched the last one. It's putting your hips when no one's clapping. Because each small choice adds weight to your identity. And here's the kicker. The version of you that can do this already exists. You just need dress like him, think like him, act like him. Until one day you realize you're become him. But there's one final piece to this puzzle that most people never discover. Here's what I never talked before. How one haircut, one outfit, one small change in how I present myself completely shift the way I feel when I hit record. Because sometimes, and just sometimes, showing up your future self is exactly what brings that version to life. When you look at mirror and see someone who's already made it, you start moving like that person. And when you move like that person, you become that person. It's not faking to make it, it's embodied to become it. And that's where real magic happens. You stop preparing to be confident, you start being confident. Ready? or not. But wait, before you transform your entire identity and become the next big thing, there's one tiny thing that would make my entire day. That little thumbs up down there, it's lonely. I mean, you just consumed 8 parts of psychological gold, had multiple existential breakthroughs, and probably questioned your entire approach to life, and you're gonna leave without even a courtesy like? That's cold, bro. But I get it. You probably think I will like it later. No, you won't. Later, you'll be scrolling TikTok wondering why you feel empty inside. Do it now. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Because if you can't support someone who give you the blueprint to overcome your biggest fear, then maybe you're not ready for the transformation you claim you want. But I believe you're different. Prove it. So keep dreaming, stay strong, and follow.